My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Hey folks, so as you can see, I'm out in the backyard. That's what I call it. So the backyard is up there, and then this is kind of the terrace area, and then my gardens, and then this is the backyard. And then back over there, where it kind of leads into the woods. I call that the way backyard. And I'll show you in a minute, but I got stuff planted out there. Springtime always makes me think of Thomas Jefferson. And you know that I am a big believer in Jeffersonian philosophy. But one of the things that Thomas Jefferson said was that no sprig of grass sprouts uninteresting to me. And I've always been of the same thought, because the springtime, when things are renewing and stuff like that, always makes me happy. So Jefferson, for many reasons, is one of my go-to people for thoughts. As you know, many of you already well know. Anyway, so I thought I would kind of walk you through the garden. Here, I'll climb up a couple of levels so I can show you the whole thing. So up above there in the highest level, you can see this is these are yellow cherry tomatoes. This is just a beefsteak yellow tomato. I like them for some applications. They're very sweet and they're low acid. Over here we got a couple of jalapenos and serranos. And they usually produce a lot of stuff. And then over here I have some other peppers. Now there's 4 plants there. Now those are Korean hot peppers, which I use to make my homemade kimchi. And if you want my recipe, I'd be more than happy to share it with you. But I make my own homemade kimchi because the fermenting cabbage. I also make my own homemade sauerkraut. The fermenting cabbage has enzymes in it that break down carbohydrates, and it's called amylase. And my pancreas doesn't make enough amylase, which is one of the reasons, even though I'm on a keto diet, it's hard for me to lose weight. So I try to eat some of that, either sauerkraut or kimchi, every day, just to balance things out. And then down here at this level, I got 4 more tomato plants. These 2 are cherry tomatoes. I love cherry tomatoes because, you know, you can put them in soups, you can freeze them solid. It works really, really well. And then this is kind of a red beef steak, tomato, and I like that, you know, for slicing and putting on top of hamburgers. And then this is one I'm trying this year for the first time. It's called Midnight Snack. And the tomatoes are almost black. Let me zoom you in because there's a couple of little tomatoes on there already. And so that's pretty cool. Now over here, it's probably hard to see, but I have sesame growing over there, and I like to use that Korean style and put it on salads, or you know, the leaves themselves, put on salads and whatnot, and they're really, really tasty. And then here, I'll point you down. You can maybe see the row of radishes coming up. Over here, I planted. This is wild raspberries, and I don't want them in here. You can see that they're all blackberries. I should say they're all over the place. You can see the flowers on a lot of the raspberries right now. I'm sorry, blackberries. But they're just all over the woods, and they're just invasive into my garden, and so I got to work really hard to keep them down. Anyway, right underneath me is where I planted a bunch of dill, but I've done 2 plantings there now, and nothing has come up. Not really sure why. Now, last year I had sesame growing in the same spot, which is right there, and you can see the little sesame coming up now, but look at all the sesame that's come up down in my sod. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I've tried moving some of them, but a lot of them I'm just going to have to cut out. All right. Now along the front here between the stones and the wood, I have rainbow Swiss chard, kale, and another chard down at the other end. And you can see them starting to come up here. I'll zoom in for you. And I love that in salads, and I love it sauteed. Here's a patch that's really coming up right here. So that's kind of fun. And then over here, I'll walk back up. I have cucumbers, I have zucchinis, I have yellow squash. You can see the little squashes coming already. Then I have a couple more rows of zucchinis. You can see, let me walk over here. You can see where the blackberries are starting to come up right on through. They'll just come up, and then there's rhizomes of other things. Here's another blackberry coming up. So I keep those pulled as much as I can. So there's, like I said, more zucchinis and stuff down here. You can see, I did some onion sets last year. These are kind of the leftovers of the onion sets. Some have come back up really well, some haven't. And then, let me back up here without stepping on anything. You can see my green beans starting to come up. And I like green beans. So I've got like 3 rows of them in here. I don't know why some have done a good job coming up and others have not, but I'm sure that most of it'll come up eventually. It just takes time. All right. Let me walk back over here. Sandy's out here with me. Say hi, Sandy. She just got her hair cut. I haven't spent money on getting my own hair cut in 40 years, but she gets one. She gets one every couple months. And I cut my own. I know it's obvious. All right, so I got this big pile of wood chips. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Something. But I'll level those out later when I actually put some plants in down here. And then right here, this is one of the apple trees that I'm growing from seed. That is a Granny Smith. And I love Granny Smiths. In fact, I've got a bunch of different apples out here. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've got 20. I've got 20 different apple trees out here. And those Korean pears, they're shaped like a great big apple, but they're actually a pear. And so I collected seeds, and I've been planting those for the last couple of years. So I got those going on. And then back here, I did a little flower bed. Take a look at it, and they're just starting to come up. But these are acorn squash. I like those. I think I've got 5 different kinds of squash planted around the place. And now, since this is Georgia, I've got the ubiquitous peach tree. I love peaches anyway. And I always gotta make sure that the ants aren't getting to them, but you can see there's a little teeny tiny peach right there, and so there's a bunch of them on the tree, and so I'll be looking forward to that this fall. This is my little strawberry patch. I bought some strawberries at Costco, and they were just the most delicious strawberries that I had ever eaten. And so the largest, juiciest strawberry I sliced off. I sliced off the outside of it with the seeds on it, and I planted them. And so those are the plants. All right, this is cool. This is a Tupelo flower, and I'm standing below a Tupelo tree. Let me turn around, you can look at it. Oh, that's my bed of chives that I've got going. I'm letting them go to seed, but they're doing gangbusters this year. I really love that. So, but we can look all the way up the Tupelo tree, which is a big tree. It's I don't know, maybe 140, 150 feet tall, but they have these very pretty flowers on them that smell absolutely fantastical. And so I love it when the Tupelo blossoms are out, because it just fills the whole neighborhood, the forest, whatever you want to say, with just a wonderful, sweet smell. That's not too overpowering. Anyway, Tupelos. Very pretty and very beautiful trees. Very interesting leaves too. I don't know if you can see those. Anyway, continuing on with your garden tour. Oh, let me get back up, which ain't easy for me. Anyway, this is my, I think they call it a fruit cocktail tree. And it's got 5 different kinds of fruits on it, some different kinds of apples and whatnot. You know, all of that stuff is in the rose family, so you can graft different things onto trees, and so this one has 5 different fruits on it. Then over here, this is one of those Asian pears. In fact, if you look out kind of along the ground here and you see all the wooden stakes, in front of every wooden stake is a tree that I have planted. Like I said, a bunch of different kinds of apples and things like that. Pears, whatnot. I think I have a couple different kinds of pears, but I kind of forget all the things that I planted. Here's an apricot that I bought and just put in. It hasn't started to leaf up yet, but I'm hopeful it'll do its thing. There's a nectarine right there. You can see it's starting to leaf up. You know, takes a while for things to acclimate and grow. Here's a poison oak, and I've kind of become immune to it, so I can grab hold of it and pull it out and it doesn't affect me anymore. I had a couple of instances where it really hit me hard, and then after that I didn't have any other reaction to it, so that's a good thing. I've planted a couple of pawpaw trees. Here's one of them. I just planted it. It hasn't really done anything yet. So, in fact, I really got to get back here with the lawnmower and yeah, and do some stuff, right? And another apple tree, another pawpaw, another pawpaw. And then up here I have a Korean persimmon tree, and I'll show you the picture. All right. And it looks like, if I can stop the thing from moving, looks like we got some buds coming in, if you can see those. So it looks like it's gonna fruit this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, well, I mean that's kind of it for the backyard. Oh, there's my rhubarb over there, and I got a couple of lemon trees I just planted over there, Meyer lemons. Thomas Jefferson also said, "I plant trees knowing that I will never enjoy their fruit, but knowing that my progeny will brings me great satisfaction." And I feel the same way. even though more than likely, if I end up moving or whatever I do, you know, I may never enjoy fruit off of most of these trees, but somebody will. And just the knowledge of that makes me happy. So, anyway, again, another simpatico for me and Thomas Jefferson. It's interesting. So here's my paddle skiff. And if you notice my paint on the bottom of the skiff, for some reason started cracking. And I was like, well, this really sucks. And so I went online, and it said to get the clear Flex Seal and basically rubberize the bottom, which I've done, and I like it. It makes it nice and shiny. We'll see if it does what it's supposed to do. Anyway, so that's the tour around the garden today. You can see how things are just getting going. Oh, one more thing is I have put in a slurry. Well, you can see it here. And so you've probably heard of a compost pile, stuff like that. Well, this is kind of the same thing, except you know, I put like coffee grounds in here and blended up stuff, you know, blended up like banana peel, things like that. And everything breaks down pretty quickly. It rotted away my stick. Now I'm gonna have to pull that out of there. Pretty gross. Anyway, but it stays nice and warm in there even in the middle of winter. And it breaks everything down to the point where it's ready to be used. First, the liquid, I use that as a liquid fertilizer around the plants. And then I take the solids that are in the bottom, and I use that for areas where I'm planning on planting something new. Alright, so actually underneath most of these trees and the flower beds and whatnot, I have put some of the solids before I planted, and it seems to be really great for some plants, maybe not so great for others. But anyway, that is the Way Backyard tour for today, and I'm going to press on to some other videos that I've been planning on doing, pulling stuff together. So I'm going to get to that. So I will see you in a few. Bye.